Good morning, Rangers. Mr. Meadham here in the shop, and we are going to do a CNC cutout for Caleb's board and possibly Olivia's. And so we have the board that we pressed in the mold. It's got a little concave, little rocker, a little concave side to side. And so I've got that mounted over here on the router. And so right now I'm going to look at measuring the center of this board. It is 48 inches wide. So I'm going to make a mark at 24, and then we'll go the other direction and make a mark at 6. And so we can find the center of the board. Now Caleb sent me a picture of the board that he liked, and so I put it on the computer. Get it to focus. Something like that, and it's about 36 inches long, so a little bit smaller than our blank, which is 48 inches. And so we're going to center it on this shape and start cutting that out. So next thing I need to do is set the height for the router bit and get my X and Y centered. So the first thing we're going to do when we set this up is we're going to set the X and Y to 0. So I'm going to turn the laser on here on the computer, and that's going to put a little laser dot over here on my hand. And we're going to move that with our arrow keys over to that center mark. Tricky to do with one hand, but we got this. All right, so that will become my X and Y 0, 0, just like the coordinates you've done in math forever. So I'm going to come over here to the computer, and I'm going to click on laser XLY, double click, hit enter on the keyboard, and now you can see that the tool is right on top of our X. Next thing we're going to need to do is set the Z axis. So we're going to move this over and touch down on this little touchpad. And that will set the Z for us. All right, so now it knows that the bottom of the bit, when it comes to the table here, is exactly 0 for the Z axis. X and Y 0 is in here, so it knows where the board is, knows how tall our bit is. I got the file for just the truck started here, so I'm going to start that. Alright, so we got the truck holes cut out nice and perfectly, and now we got to put this big beast of a bit in there to cut the perimeter out of the board. So we need to reset our Z since we put a new bit in, because every bit, depending on where it's located or how long it is going to be different. And so that sets the height for that, and now we are ready to cut it out. Because the board has some contour to it, we got to set the Z up a little bit higher so that it kind of hits it all evenly. So like the first pass barely takes any off, if any, if at all. There we go. And that's it, folks. So I'm going to unscrew this here. Unscrew this one. Board is done. So this is the image Caleb sent me, and so we brought that into our VCarve program and traced it out. Just got the trucks in the right spot, made all of the control files. You can see kind of what the machine just did. So like I said, I had to make it pretend that it was 1.5 inches thick because of all the contour and rocker in there. And then went down 1/4 of an inch each time and cut it out. And that one is another one cut out with the drop throughs in it this time.